Hey history friends, today we're going to be talking about ship biscuits, and ship biscuits are a cool recipe that comes to us from the 18th century. You may also know it as hardtack, but that term didn't become popular until the American Civil War much later. So what were ship biscuits? They were a way to preserve bread, and this was especially important on the ships for the sailors and the Navy. Fresh bread, you know, if you make it at home, after a couple of days it starts to go moldy, and definitely if it gets any kind of wet, it really doesn't hold up well. So they had to come up with a way to preserve bread so that the sailors and the soldiers could be well fed and have, you know, that bread ration that they were allotted while they were on their journeys on ship. So ship biscuits, we're going to talk about today, has 3 simple recipes. So firstly, I'm starting with 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Now, you can use regular flour, regular all-purpose white flour if you want, but whole wheat flour is a little more historically accurate, especially if you can get like stone ground, and I'm extra, so I like things to be, you know, historically accurate. So I'm using whole wheat flour today, but all-purpose works great as well. To this, I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of salt, and we're gonna give that a quick mix. And then I'm gonna add in a ½ cup of water. Now I'm gonna get this mixed well, and I'm going to roll it out and then cut it and put it on a baking sheet. Alright, so I've got these mixed together, I've got the dough rolled out, and I have them cut, and I just use actually a mason jar ring because that's what I had handy. And very important, you want to take a fork and you want to poke them to make sure that that steam can escape out of the top. Then we're going to pop it into a 350-degree oven for 2 hours, flipping them after the first hour. You may need to go to 3 hours depending on how thick you make them. You want them to just be extremely dry. Here's an example of one that I made. This is at least 6 months old. It actually is probably older than that, come to think of it, but still rock hard. These are like literally rock hard. Like you can't bite these, they would break your teeth. They would crush them up or soak them in some type of a liquid, add them to super stew. That's how that they would eat them in the 18th century. But there you have it. Those are ship biscuits, a way to preserve bread and a pretty neat recipe.